To design this kind of clean website for tattoo studio, and it got the logo, it got a kind of nav bar and a banner, kind of clean banner, and then some kind of top designs. They have images, buttons, rates, names, and some details. Some images are here. They are displayed very nicely with the help of css grid and flexbox. Then again a banner, kind of same thing again, and then a lot of images with the help of css grid and flexbox. Yes, and in the next video I'll be making this responsive as well. It is very easy to make this responsive with the help of css grid without using all those complicated things. Okay, and then it has a kind of elegant footer, that is kind of big footer that these days really work, and this kind of subscribe bar. So let's start doing this. Currently this website is on my desktop, and I'm at the same time I'm uploading this to GitHub, so very soon this will be available like as a link, and I will be uploading all those things to along with the video. So let's start creating inside this. Here is the folder which I have already done. I mean, instead of creating and blabbering, I have already done this so I can do it clearly with you. So I have the folder here. I have the css folder which has font awesome and the images and nothing. So we need to create all those things now. So let's use the code editor. I'm using VS Code. This is the best, and I will suggest you to use this only, no other. So we are inside this folder. Should we name it something else? Maybe tattoo. And inside this we need to create first of all an index file, index.html. That is the main page. And again one more file. I'm pressing Command N or Control N, or you can go to File and then do. I'm going to create a css file now for the style, and it needs to be named as style.css. This is done. Now first of all we need to create the bare bones. So I pressed shift and exclamation mark R1, then I will press tab or enter, and the bare bones have shown up. And here let's call it inclub. That is the name of this studio. Then we need to link the css file. How we do that? We have the css file inside the css folder, and the name of this thing is style.css. Same way we need to link font awesome. That is also css, so it is inside the css folder. Then we have a far folder, then css folder. Then we need to use all.min.css. Why we are using this? Because this is a compressed file, kind of. It doesn't have the space. Maybe I could show you, but I will be very short on time. So here are they. I mean, you can also see the whole address as well. You see there, this file is compressed. That is the reason to use it, because that loads it very fast. So that thing is taken care of. Now we need to go to this body, and first of all we have to create the header and give it a class of header only. That works. Now inside the header, first of all we have the logo. Let's use h1 and logo. I mean, no problem, we have to use h1 somewhere. So but the logo is an image, no problem. And where is this image? Inside the img folder. Then we have this logo. Have I got this logo? I will just look for the name of the image. Where is this image? It's ink logo. So I need to put inklogo dot png. If things are not showing up to you, go here and add folder or open folder, and things will start showing up. Do not worry about it. Always use the alt. That is for the search engines and screen readers. So make sure you're doing this. After this, what we have a nav bar. Where is this? This is inside the header only. And we are giving the class of this links, and then we need a tags, those kind of links, and we are calling them n links, nlinks, n links. Yes. And href mean where to go, google.com, facebook.com, or any.com, .org, or whatever. We are not taking anywhere, so we are putting hash mark. And what is the name of the first thing? We can go back to this browser and look for it. The browser is in full width, so it will give problems, so I will just make it down. First name is designs. I will make these all capitalized with the help of code, not here. Location, or it will be locations, but I think it has just got one location. So price, I'm duplicating it with the help of shift alt or shift option and down arrow. Then what was that? gallery. Then what does it have? Us. It could be contact us as well. This thing is taken care of. Now we need to create the main section, and we are giving it a class of main. Inside the main we have the first thing first, we have a banner. So we have an image, and we are going to give it a class of banner. And where is this banner? Inside the img folder. And then we have this banner 20, that is the name of this file I have given for convenience, and it is a banner. This is taken care of. Now what do we have? Inside the main only we need to create a lot of things. I think first of all we have a kind of divider, so let's call h2 text and give it an id of divider, divider. And what we need to call it? Top designs. That makes sense. Yes, underneath this we need to create a section. It would be a div as well, no problem, but section makes sense. And what section? This is tattoos. Should we call it tattoos or gallery? Yeah, I mean, after all, this is a gallery, is like the images. And inside this we need to create a div with the tattoo, and tattoo will have two things: an image first. Let's pick the image, just any image. I will pick this image, TAT, tattoo. Then we need to create one more div, that is details of the tattoo. What are the details? First we have a name, h. Let's use that and give it a class of name, tattoo name. I mean, just use a generic name. Then p, let's just keep it p. We do not have to give it a class because we can use that very easily. It's inside something, so we have to use that thing. I'm going to use lorem ipsum. How much? Maybe 20. You have to install these things and go to the left side here and look for all the HTML things and lorem ipsum, and everything will be in your hands. That's pretty easy. This thing is taken care of. After this, what we need to have a price, so we can use h5 pric price. I mean, this is given by the HTML itself, so I'm not making it up. And maybe, how about 24.99? It can be anything. Then we need to put a button, button. Do you want to give it a class? Yeah, why not? Maybe click. It could work without that also. And what? Book. No, that makes sense. I think this thing is taken care of. Now we need to style the things in the CSS folder. First thing first, you have to reset the browser defaults. That is the padding and the margin that's given by the browser. You have to reset them. If you do not do that, you will have no idea why your website is working strangely. So now we need to create the canvas. I mean the place, the body where we create the website. And what does that have? Height and width. How much width? Yeah, 100%, whatever is the screen size. And how much height? Keep it automatic. Why do we have to think? It can think at its own. And now what we have a header. What does header needs? It needs width. How much? Not full. We are going to keep it very short, kind of this. So 80% works fine. VW means view width. I could write percent also, no problem. And header needs height because we do not want to like make it long. How much will work? How about automatic? But we will keep it 120 pixels. And what else does it need? The footer, does it need anything else? Yes, it needs margin. Why? Because the things are not in the center right now. If I open this website right now, this website should be inside the tattoo folder. Here is this website. Things are not in the center. We want to use the margin for that. Margin on what? On header first. So at the top, maybe keep it 1% or 2%, and then auto will put things in the center, but not in the dead center yet. We have to use one more thing. And what is that? Not yet. So we have the logo. Let's style that. And logo has ID of logo. And just do this text align. I mean, sometimes this thing works, sometimes it doesn't. Logo is good enough. Maybe we can reduce its size, but I think it's okay. Then we have this Links, I gave them the class of links. Yes, links links. What do they need? They need to be aligned in the center. So what works best, if I use text align center, let's see if it work or not. That worked. Then they again have a kind of class, or I could do this like links links, and but I will do one thing. I will use nlinks because I will be using this class at many times, so that I do not have to create this again and again. So what does it need? They have an underline that's looking ugly. We need to remove that. What is that? That is text decoration. And what we have to do? None. And also they are touching each other. So what we have to do? We have to give them individual padding, give them maybe 24 pixels, or I think 30 pixels could be right. That's working. I think 30 pixel will work. And we want to change the font as well. And what fonts? We go to the Google fonts. I have selected some fonts. How you select the fonts? Any font that you like, just click on the plus icon. Do not click many fonts. 3 fonts are good enough. So I'm going to use this font in the CSS. So how we use it? Copy this thing, go to import, and not the style but this line, and then at the top of your CSS file just paste this line. The font is imported. If you do not want to do this, you go to this standard, then select this, go to your HTML file, not CSS file, and underneath your CSS file put this. The font is imported. Now what do you have to do? You have to go to the CSS file and use the font from here. If you want to put this font in your header, then I will go to my header and put this. Now the font will be used, you see. But I think I will remove it from here because I'm liking that CSS thing, because we are, after all, we are using it in the CSS. That makes sense. Okay, now do you like that color? No, we do not like that color. So we want to reset the color. And how? With the color. So we want to use black. I could write black also. That makes sense. Or hash 000. That's also valid. We want to make them capitalized. So that is text transform uppercase. Now the font will be pretty large, so we want to reduce its size. How we do that? I think it's kind of okay, but if you want to do that, then you have to do this font size, maybe 1M or 16 pixels, 14 pixels, 18 pixels, whatever you like. Just, and the color has not changed yet. Why so? Because they do not need, we do not have to put these fonts as well here. We have to do this inside here to the individual links. Now the color will be changed, and I think that these links, the body that is holding these links, they need a margin at the top, or padding, no padding but margin at the top of around 2%, because that is kind of touching the logo. It is going down now. Now our footer, the whole header, I mean header, needs some kind of margin at the bottom. Margin at the bottom of around 4%, because we want to throw that banner bit away. That's thrown away, but not much. How about 6%? Anyway, the banner too will have some margin, so that, I think 4. Let's go with it now. Now we need to style the main section, and main section has a class of main. What does it need first? It needs a width. What is that? width, width. How much width? Maybe give it 90%, or 90 vw means view width. Height, how much? Automatic. We do not have to use our brain over here. And what else does it need? It needs the same thing, the margin, just the margin, so we can like throw things here and there. So maybe 2% at the top, and auto from left and right, so things are centered. This banner has not got centered yet. Why? Because maybe we want to make it dot be a banner, and this might be small, so give it a width of 100%. V double. I use V double means view width. No, that thing is still having some problem. Why is this banner having the problem? Has it got some margin? Margin 2%, then auto. Let me maybe remove this. That's making sense now. Now this this thing, let me, okay, I have to keep this. Now up till here things are looking fine. The header, nav bar, that logo, we could make that logo a bit smaller. How we do that? Go to your HTML. Where is the logo? Here is the logo. Give it a width of around, I think it's a kind of small one, maybe 20 pixels. That will make it pretty small. How about 80 pixels? I think that is exactly the size. Okay, let's leave with it. That's okay. Now what we need to do, we have done this. We need to design this top design. This is a kind of a divider. What does it need? First of all, it needs some font family. So we have to copy the font from here. I think I'll be using this again, no problem. And come again here. What ID does it have? It has an ID of, have I used it already? I think no, I have not, so I will use it here. divid, a divider. And what does it need? It needs, first of all, a font family. Maybe font size is okay, and it needs needs to be aligned in the center. So text align center, and maybe some margin at top and bottom and all those. So margin of 4% here and there. Let's see if that work or not. That has worked. 4%, yeah, it's looking fine. Now we need to style this image. So what is the name of this image? The name of image is tattoo. Tattoo, T-A, tattoo. Yes. What does it need? It needs to be displayed as flex, and you will see something happening over here. Things, I may have used something wrong. TA, it should be double T, not single T. Now that's looking kind of different. What we have over here, we have again one more div for its content on the right side. What does that need? That, okay, I could like do this a tattoo and whatever a div is inside this, but that will make things a bit complicated for us. Should we use this? And let's do use the details, the class that we have given. So what we need to give, we need to display that as flex as well. I mean, you will use this flex so many times. And then flex direction, we want to put it up and down in a column. Now you will see something happen. It has not yet, boy, has it got the DETALS. Let me copy it again. Flex direction column, and let's give it a width of around 300 pixels, and let's see if something happened or not. It is not taking that thing. I have to check why. Div class DETALS, details. Okay, and this need to be, if I put it here and dot details and display it as flex direction column, its width should be 300 pixels. Yes, it is working now, and it needs some margin on the left side because it's touching. How about 4% or 2% could be fine. It has got some space, but I think this is a lot because we have to put one more image as well over there in the right side. Now they are touching each other. What we do, we have to justify the content. How? Space, what will work? I think space around or space evenly. We can try all these three things and see what works fine. And now we need to change the font as well inside this. And where is this? Inside the tattoo we need to change the font. And what font we are going to use? We are going to use kind of cursive font. So let's use this font inside tattoo. Put this. If I do this and I come back and see, whole font has changed, but the font size is very small. Do we want to update that font? Yes. So how we do that? Inside, I think that will be a lot of work. Ta tattoo, whatever is a p inside it, no, not like this. Whatever is a p inside this should have a font size of 1.2 em. Let's see if that do some change or not. Yes, that has done some change. And now that, what is that? This thing is a name, and I could use h3 over here. And I think this is inside the details. I mean, use whatever you like. Okay, you have to like font font size of maybe 1.4 ems. They will change. Why it has not? It has to be font size. That has kind of changed. And I think that price, I intentionally have made it smaller, so let's not worry about it. And then we have a button. Have we given a class to the button? We have given a class. If there were no class, then I could use like details, then whatever is the button inside. So we could use that. First of all, it needs a width of around, let's give it a 120 pixels width. And the height, it needs how much? Maybe 40 pixels. And maybe it needs some padding as well. How much? Maybe 4 pixels. Does it need a border? We don't need a border, because that will be a kind of grayish look. Then what color background color we need? We need kind of green, but not this green, kind of a different green. I mean, kind of subtle green. Yes, this will make sense. And we want to change the color of font inside that button as well to a white. I could write white here as well, just plain white. That's making sense. But the button is looking a bit smaller. How about 160 pixels? Looks fine. The font is very small. How we change it? Font size, again, you know these things by now. How about 1.2 em? This may be large. I think this is large. Just one is enough. That's making sense. And do we want to make it rounded instead of this kind of sharp look? How about 2 pixels? Border radius, that is. If it is 50%, then the whole thing will look like a circle. But we have to give equal width and height for that case. Now this thing is kind of done. We do one thing. This tattoo, duplicate it and throw here. Now if you come back and see the browser, they will be on top of each other. So where are they? These tattoos, they are inside the gallery. So gallery needs to be styled .gallery gallery. If I give it, let's do one more thing. Maybe duplicate it one more time. 3, 4, and come back to the CSS. And first of all, I will try to use grid template columns. I will use a repeat function. Guys, try to understand. Okay, instead of writing this thing over here, let me tell you what I had to do. 1fr, 1fr, or 300 pixels, 300 pixels. I'm using a function that is smart, and we are using it 2 times, then 1fr. We do not have to worry, I mean, about the things. And it is happening like this. We need to give some margin on the left side and margin in the bottom as well. So the margin will be given to the whole gallery. Margin on the left side, maybe 4%. Still too less. How about 6%? That's looking fine. Now the individual boxes, what's the name of these boxes? They are tattoo. They need a margin at the bottom. Margin at the bottom. How about 4%? All will be thrown away from each other. It's kind of less. Maybe make it 8%. If I were using Flexbox, then I never had to give this kind of margin over here. I mean, I can try that also, why not? Where is this thing? This thing is happening here. So let's disable this for a while and display it as a flex box and justify content space, maybe space around, and then flex wrap. You have to use that. If you don't do that, then it will not work. It will go around the screen. That is still giving problem, but maybe I could use between. I think I have to use the margin. Yeah, so no problem. I have already given the margin, so it's working. It's kind of working, but the margin at the bottom is not good. And also those details, they are not going to the extreme edge. So if I do this now, they will be like covering the whole area. The margin at the bottom is very less. So the tattoo, it needs a margin at the bottom of around 12%. Is that making sense? Some sort of. And maybe this 4% margin over here is small. 6%, maybe make it 8%. Okay, we need to change the image names as well. Aren't they touching each other too much? I think they are touching each other too much. Grid, repeat, 2, and now we need to give some column gap of around 4%. Let's try that. Yes, they will be thrown away from each other. How about 6%? Because they should not touch each other. That's looking fine. Now the image names, if I'm using 20b here, let's use 20g. I have a lot of images, so I can use just variable images. How about h and maybe f? Let's see the images are changed or not. Yes, they are. And I think this section is done. I could like if I go back to the original website, where is that website? Here it is, and it's kind of, the font is different and they have a lot more space. Why don't I give it space as well? We want to give them some space. So column gap should be 8%, but the margin on the left side, I have to reduce that, maybe 6% or 4%. I mean, still I could make it large. Okay, and the margin on the left side should be smaller. Now this is kind of looking okay, but the margin at the bottom is still not up to the mark, so maybe we use it like 16%. That's okay, okayish. Okay, and now what we need one more banner. I will come here and inside the HTML, outside this section, if we want to duplicate these images, I can just go on duplicating them. I mean, but that will increase the work. We just have to understand the things. Guys, try to understand. If I'm rushing, you do not have to rush. You have to understand. You have to make some sense. And more images are added. Maybe I could change the names. It's H, I could make it I, maybe make it G. No, G makes sense. Have I got that image? I do not want to repeat any image, so maybe K and N. No, that image has not changed. L. Fine, okay. 1, 2, wait, 2, 4, 6, 2, 4, 6 images. I could add like 1,000 images over here, no problem. Now we need to add a banner. We are outside this, but still inside the main. And why create? We already have the banner. I can just duplicate this and put it down under here. So it is here, and I have to change the banner name. So it is, I think, 20. It will suggest me 20b. I guess it is giving me the idea, but it will be using PNG twice. That will not upload the image or load the image, and the image is added. Now what we need, I think we need that divider at the top. So where is that divider? That divider is here. It is here. So I will use this above that banner here, and let's see if that is working fine or not. It is working. Now we need to create smaller icons. So we create a section, and let's give it an idea of a class of uh, mm, mm, gallery. um, what is the ID that I first have given? I will be using that a bit. It is gallery, and I'll be using that. And gallery 2, I'll be giving it two classes. I mean, that's kind of smart thing, but it didn't work. Gallery by gallery, and then we may give it second class gallery by gallery 2. Now inside this we need to create boxes, so let's create that. I think it needs the same thing, but the width of the image and those things will be smaller. So why don't we just copy one thing from here? I will just copy any image. This tattoo I will copy from here, and I will put it inside here. Now this image needs a smaller width. So if I give this tattoo another class, ta tattoo 2, and what else does need a change? I think this text will be smaller, not this much, and the button will be saying yeah, that's okay. Book now is okay, maybe price is okay. And if I change the this width over here, width to maybe 300 pixels or 200 pixels, or I could change the height. And let's come back to the website and let's see, kind of something has happened. Now I think this button is larger, the text is larger, but there is one thing that is here. This thing has got details. You see here, details, so we call it details. We still keep that class, but details too. I mean, that's small thing. It's kind of, we do not have to do repeated work. And details, how about putting that details closer here? detail, details 2. What does it need? It needs a width of 200 pixels. Will that work? Kind of worked. And the button is looking okay. It's up to you. Maybe make it 180 pixels. That's okay. Button is still okay. Do you like the button? I mean, click. Okay, so whatever is inside, what is the name of this thing? It is tattoo 2, the button inside it. I mean, let's give a different class to the button over here. Click, CLIC, click to. I mean, we still keep the earlier class because we want to have the styles, but we want to add CLIC a few more things. So click to is one more thing, and let's give it a width of instead of, what is the width over here? 160. Maybe give it 140. Let's see if that make the change or not. It should be pixels. It is kind of not working. Maybe I have to do the whole thing again. Why not? And then make it 140 pixels. It is is not doing. I think I will have to do. I will do one thing inside this. I will, if I remove this class, because I already have copied the style, and has it got the style? Yes, it has got the style. If I load it now, button has gone very smaller, but has it got the class? CLICK, click to CLI. I was doing it wrong. I was doing it wrong all the way. Okay, now fine, we have to live with it. Now what? We have to create more images. So what are they? They are inside tattoo 2. This is that thing. And if I duplicate this 1 2 3 4, and they will be stacked on top of each other, but they are already displaying because they are inside a kind of gallery. We want to give it a different style to the gallery 2. Where are they? They are inside gallery 2. So gallery 2 needs a different style. .gall or gallery 2. It needs to be displayed as flex. No, grid. Let's use grid, and grid template columns, use a repeat function of, maybe we could use 4 images here, 4 1 fr in one fraction of each. Let's see if that work or not. 4 is working or not. And do we want images like this? We do not want them to be like this. We want that text to be under it. So what is the name of this thing? I mean, there is a little bit more work. Okay, so details, it's not details, it's details 2. Let me see if it is details 2 or what. Tattoo 2. The tattoo 2 needs to be displayed as this thing. Guys, you have to understand, you do not have to rush. Try to make sense. I mean you have to watch it again if you have to do that, and also try to make sense. If you are just completing the tutorial, then that's wrong. And this display flex is okay, but we have to give it a direction, flex direction of column. Let's see if that makes sense or not. Will that throw things to the down? It has not yet. Why details 2? Where is this thing? Is it details 2 or tattoo 2? I think it should be done inside tattoo 2. Why I'm doing this wrong again? Where is tattoo 2? Have I got access to the tattoo 2? I need to access the tattoo 2. TA tattoo 2. And if I give this styling to here now, kind of it didn't work. Let me see why not. TA double T. I am doing it again. That's the problem. Now maybe it will throw things badly. That's making sense. And now I know those other images, they need some work, and that is, this width needs to be given to them. So I will just delete them for now. I will just keep one image here, not even this. And now we can duplicate them from here, from this image, and all the things looking okay now. Maybe we could do this to the tattoo too. Text align in the center. Let's see it do something or not. But the button has not got. If we, it has got flex. If align items in the center, let's see if that do something or not. The button has got some problem. What is the problem with the button? What is the name of this button? Padding, height, width. Maybe I give it some margin from the, I mean, if something is not working, then something has to work. 4%. I'm giving it some margin from the left side. Okay, that's not working. Maybe 8% or 6%. Do it like this. So it still needs some margin. I think it is in the center now. Maybe, yeah, it's okay. Now margin at the top also. How about 4% again, because we do not want this to touch the top. I think it's kind of making sense. Now, what is the name of this thing? It is tattoo 2, and they are inside gallery 2. 1 2 3 4 5. Now the gallery 2, has it got some style? Yes, it is a flex. No, it is a grid, and we have given it 4 things. Why the images are not added? Have I saved the HTML file? And you can see they are getting displayed like this, but we still need to make them kind of beautiful. So I will maybe duplicate it one more time, and let's see. I will change the images as well, and I will put them in the dead center as well. Do not worry. So how many images are here? I will change their names. Should I change the names? Yeah, it's a good practice. C F D A T. Have I got the T? L K G E P. Have I got the P? Yes, I have got that. If some image will not be found, that will be displayed as that alt tag image. Now they need to be in the center. What is the thing that is not in the center? That is gallery 2. Why this thing is not in the center? If I give it margin 2% at top and auto on left or right, let's see if that work or not. That kind of didn't work because it already has got the margin. If this text align center that works or not, that is a stupid idea anyway. And we have to give the margin from the left. Margin from the left, how about 4%? Maybe it is more. Gallery 2, does it need the margin? 4% is kind of not working. Maybe 8%. I mean, margin and padding are something that will always work. I mean, if other things are not working, they will work. And what is the name of these things? Tattoo 2. They need a margin at the bottom because they are touching each other. Margin bottom, how much? Maybe 6% or 8% could be fine. If I save it now and reload. No, that has actually come closer. How about 16 pixels? Because we want to throw them away. And even it has not worked. How about 24 pixels? Am I giving them to the right images? Yeah, tattoo 2. How about 12%? No. 30%. Okay, it's looking fine. Now we need to give the margin at the top as well because that's touching it. So margin at the top, how about 20%? That will be a lot. Yes, that is a lot. How about 12%? That's looking fine. Maybe I could reduce it to 8%. I mean, always use even numbers in programming, never use odd numbers. Sometimes you have to, no problem. Now this thing is done. Now what we need to do? I mean, something is looking fine. Okay, now what we need? We need to create the footer. But first of all, we need to create that kind of subscribe to our newsletter, and that is inside main itself. So we have to create this section. We could use div as well. Subscribe, guys. I mean, I'm making websites, and I will take you to the extent where you can make really great websites. So I'm really teaching you from the ground up. That's the thing happening here. Okay, so inside the subscribe box we will have two things. One is an input. Try to understand this thing because when you make search bar, you will need to use this. It is very important because if you don't use it this way, then you will have a lot of problems. Why I am unable to make that kind of search button where it has a kind of rounded icon, and then there is the search icon, and but the search icon is running away from that box. I will teach you here. Enter your email to subscribe. That's okay. Now we need to create one more thing. That is, I think, that search icon. So where is that search icon? It's inside the font awesome, and I'm using class for dash search. That makes sense. I think no, we don't need this. We need an arrow. Let's see if that work or not. If that doesn't work, we will look for some other thing, and I will also teach you how to make that arrow which take things up. Yes, that arrow is showing up. Maybe we could make it just the arrow instead of circle. Let's see if that work or not. No, that has disappeared. That needs a different class. So we command Z. Let's see if that appears, reappears. Yes, now it needs styling. What is this? This is subscribe. 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 It needs some styling. What is the first thing? It needs some width. How much we want to make it large? 80%. 80 VW. Yes. And what else does it need? It needs height as well. How much? Maybe 40 pixels. Yes, that's okay. What else does it need? It needs a border or maybe a background. We need a kind of grayish color. Select any color, then go over here and select the color of your choice. Now something is showing up but they are not aligned well, so what we have to use again, that flex is your friend. Display flex, justify content, space between that will throw them to the edges, and also we want to align them in the center, so that is align center. Align items in the center, that will do this thing for us. Now this thing has got some problem. It is not like it's playing kind of white background. Why? We will take care of that also. But first of all, I think I have to put this thing in the center. Margin, let's give it 2% or 6% at top, and auto on the left and right. Let's see if that work or not. If that doesn't work, then we have to give the margin on the right. It kind of worked. Maybe we need to give more margin on the left side. Okay, how about text align in the center? I mean, this thing works sometimes and it doesn't, so let's not use it. So there is an input inside subscribe subs sub, whatever is an input inside this, you could just write input only. Okay, no problem. But use, I mean, you have to use them sometimes. So what does it need? It doesn't need a background. Background needs to be removed. BACK, background should be none. Should it have a border? It should have no border. None again. And what should it have? We want to change its font size. The font is looking very small, but this is a placeholder, so it cannot be accessed easily. So you have to this double colon, then place PLAC, place HO. Why you are giving me problems? PLAC, yeah, placeholder. Now the font size should be maybe 1.4 ems. Do we want to change its color? I think it's fine for now. I haven't saved it. If I save it now, the font will be increased, but this input needs some padding, I assume 4 pixels, and it needs width as well. How much? Maybe 60 VW, because this is the input that is taking the input. Okay, and do we want to change its font? We can do, no problem. And now we want to give it some padding on the left side, because we want to throw that text bit away. It is touching the edge. Yes, that has happened now. Now that icon on the left side, what does that need? That needs a kind of background. So what is that icon doing here? That icon is inside. Have we got it a class? It has got some class, but instead of that, we will use that subscribe, and whatever is an I inside this, that needs a background. Kind of green should make sense here, and the color of that icon inside it should be white. FFFF. Let's see that if that work or not. That worked, but it is still not good enough. So what do we have to do? We have to give it some padding, maybe 4 pixels, and we have to give it some height as well. How much? Maybe 40 pixels. Kind of worked, but that has thrown it away. We will reduce this, and let's come back. Making sense. We need to give it some width as well. WID width. How much? Maybe 60 pixels. Let's see if that work or not. It's still very small. Maybe 80 pixels. That worked, but the text is not in the center. What is the problem? Text is not in the center. Text is not in the center. That's a very bad thing. Have I done something wrong over here? Width has got height. It has got some height. It should be in the center. It should be in the center. So text align in the center. Let's try this thing on it. Yes, we now need to give it line height, because this is not at the kind of vertical thing. So what is the height of this thing? It is 40 pixels. So if we give the parent side, things will be in the center. I think this icon is making sense. Now the whole subscribe needs margin on the left, and it should be a bit more. 8% is not working. I'm doing something wrong. Maybe it is actually throwing this away. What is happening here? Let me remove it, and now margin on the left side should be maybe minus 4%. Let's try that. If I were wrong. Yes, I were wrong. It was no, I'm still wrong. Yes, I think 4 is less, maybe 12%, because we want to put it in the center and it is not going. We could use other things also, but I'm just going quick. I think this is making some sense now, and maybe this thing has got some padding. Has it got some padding? Padding on the left should be 4%. I think I removed that. That was the problem. That's making sense, and now it has thrown it away. 2% is okay, and we will need to adjust that here again. How about 8%? Yeah, well, looking fine maybe, I think, but if I put 9%, that will be wrong. How about 10%? I want to use even number only. Fine, okay, we now go to the footer. The main section is done. Get out of the main. Now inside the footer, to create the footer, it's given by the HTML itself, so we do not have to create a div. So give it a class of footer. Now the footer needs a lot of things. First of all, we need two sections, so let's create sections. Section f1, I mean section, give it a class of f1, and one more section, and give it a class of f2, I mean two footers. Inside the first one we need lines, so divs, and this is line 1. Now duplicate this, we need 3, it should be line 2, it should be line 3, and now inside them we need to put some text, so that is an A, and we will use n links that we already have used because we do not want to style things again and again. So I have to go back to the browser and look at the things that uh, are here. So it is designs, reviews, DSIG, and designs. I duplicate it. REVIEWS, reviews. What is the other thing? Tools and colors. Tools. I will change the font as well. Colors. Okay, and now I will just copy it because we have to use it one more time. Designers. So have I done something wrong? Where I should be inside. I have done something definitely wrong. I have to copy this thing, and then put it over here. Then it is designers, reviews is okay, I think. Experience, yeah, experience, experience, rates, reviews. That's fine. Now we may need to create two more inside the line 3. I think that is one is location and timings. Location, TIMING, timings. That's making sense. Now we need to create inside the footer 2. We need to create 3 things. First thing is we need to create social icons. So we are creating a div with a social, and inside that we are creating I class and giving a class of fab font awesome brands for space Instagram. Duplicate, make it Twitter, make it Facebook, make it what else, maybe Yelp, and what else, maybe WHATS, what's APP. Yeah, that's making sense. Now one more thing we need a P with the class of copy, and we want to put that copy right here. So and COPY, copy, it will suggest you what to write. Copy, I would ink LOV love 2020. Guys, try to make sense, okay? Do not try to complete the video only. I mean, watch it on the repeat if you are having some problem. You can ask me questions, okay? And we will need one more thing, that is an I class, and we want to put an arrow that take the website to the top. So that is a class uh, for dash. How about arrow? Let's see if give me suggestions or not. Arrow up. Now we need to do one thing inside the this body. We need to put an a name equals top, close this. Now come to the bottom. That should be here. Create an a tag, and inside this put top. and now inside this you put that icon to go to the top, and that can be anything. So that is for dash arrow. Let's try that. But first of all, we need to style the footer. We will do it quicker. Footer, what does it need? It needs width. How much? We will give it 100%. And height, how about automatic? Because there are a lot of things happening, so we have to. And it needs a border at the top. And how much? Just 1 pixels. Solid, kind of subtle light color. And it needs some padding at the top. How much? Maybe just 4% is okay. What else does it need? Does it need a background? No, it doesn't need a background. So we need to style now those F1 and F2s. F1 should have a display of flex. I mean, you will have to use this flex so many times. And justify content, how much space around we will use, or space evenly. And is that done? Kind of. Now what we have those line 1, and we are going to use a smart thing here, line 2, line 3. What does they need? They need to display it as flex as well, and the flex direction should be column up and down. Come back to the website now, and they haven't got the style. I will have to look back again. What is the problem? Line 1, line 2, and line 3. Line 1, line 2. I'm doing wrong, so how can they get the style? They got the style. We need to give them font family as well. What is the font that I'm going to use here? I think this is the font that I will use. I never use this font. I have no idea if this is a font. Let's try this font in the footer. In the footer, here is the footer. So I will put this. Let's try if this font looks good or not. No, because this is very small font and it will not look good. So we are going to copy this font once again, and I will go here. I'll remove this, and guys, are you understanding? I mean, I'm using all the hacks, all the things that it has got for me, okay? And sometimes things work, sometimes they don't work. So what we do, we try, okay? And then we have one more footer, that is F2. What does it need? It needs display as flex and justify content. How about space around? And will it work fine? Things are not still like going good. How about space between? Then we need padding, overall padding. Let's give some 4%. Kind of good. And we need a border at the top. What is a border at the top? How much? 1 pixel. Solid, subtle, kind of making sense. The padding at the top should be less. Padding at the top should be just 2%. And padding at the bottom should be 2% as well. And your website is ready, but those icons are not ready. What is the problem with them? What is the name of those icons? Social. They have a class of social dot associate social, whatever is an I inside them. They needs a padding. How much? How about 20 pixels? I had to give them some direction as well. They haven't got. Why? Because there is some problem with the social. I have not given them the right class. SOCAIL. Is it the right spell? SOCIAL. I think this should be the spells. And things are fine, but they are not aligned. You see, this thing is down, that thing's up. No, we do not want that. What we do, go to the F2 and align items, center, and now you see, come back, things are where they should be. If you click on this now, website goes to the top. Your website is ready, guys. It's this easy. There is no tough thing happening. All things are, you have to practice. And if you got questions, do ask me. I will be making this website responsive. I mean, there are a lot of tweaks here you can add to this website to make it further cool and simple. But something is in front of you that you can create and put up in your portfolio, or can do a live website or whatever. So yeah, I mean, do let me know about your thoughts, and consider supporting. Thank you. Have a great day.